Please, we are recording.
Yes, I was just saying that looking at how far all of you have come and thinking back to those days, I must say credit to all of you. You have done well. You have done well to get this far from the days that you were my students. And I congratulate all of you for the hard work that you've done to flourish from the opportunities that you had back in the day. You've made me feel proud that I was once your teacher. And I'm happy that you are all well positioned in various places and developed into experts in various fields. Like I said in the 90th anniversary service during my address, wherever we are as past students or products of Accra Academy, we must always carry with us that sense of duty to give something back to the school, which has made us who we are. I passed through as a student from Form 1 to Upper 6, and I had some really outstanding teachers that I remember till today, and what they did to influence me. And I believe that's what also impelled me to be the kind of teacher that I was to all of you. So that should be something that should always remain at the back of your minds, that you have a duty to give back to Accra Academy. I happen also to be the chairman of the Accra Academy UK branch on the executive. And some of you are on my executive, like David Square is on the executive. We have been trying to rally people around, those of us here in the UK, to make contributions to sponsor projects in the school. So far, we've supported with a number of projects, but that's not the end. I mean, we can never stop giving back to Accra Academy. And like I said in my anniversary speech, Accra Academy has made outstanding strides in its 90-year history. If you look back at some of the products of the school, you should feel proud that you also passed through Accra Academy. I mean, in every area of our national life, you will see that there are products of Accra Academy who have made some contribution in one form or the other towards our nation building. And it is now your turn. Recently, the special prosecutor who was appointed, Kisi Ajabeng, I think it may be either a few years behind you or ahead of you, but he is your contemporary. And he's been nominated as special prosecutor. It's a credit to the school that we have people like that serving in very, sensitive and prominent roles in our country. So we have a very strong tradition of education excellence, and we need to do all that we can to keep that tradition, preserve it, and bequeath it to the next generation. So have it at the back of your minds in all your thinking and planning, whatever projects you intend to take up in the school. Have it at the back of your mind that the school has a tradition worth preserving and passing on. And let that be a motivation to you. So these are the few words that I want to leave with you. Those of you here in the UK, I will implore you to be actively involved in our activities. There are some of you who are already active, but some of you in the background. We need everybody on board. So please join us that we can raise the profile of our community. And everywhere that you are, make sure that you hold your head up and bear your chest out as a proud product of Accra Academy. And raise the profile of your year groups in the branches and the school in general. Those are the few words that I want to leave with you this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's give it to him. Let's give it to him.
Jomia, 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 Jomia.
I think there is a scene that said we sang of fire. We didn't sing the national anthem. David Square, as usual, if you can just raise it, you have built nations of men. Then you sing it to glorify God and to honor Mr. John Mayer for having time to stay with us during this meeting. David, over to you. Jolati.
You have built
nations of men. You made great men of them. Generations of scholars. Black and gray. And
Come on, gentlemen. Where's the host? Otherwise, turn your camera off. We don't want to see your car park.
Dick.
Yes, Okwabi.
You said I should turn off the camera or something?
No, that was directed at Aluwas.
Oh, okay. Right. Thank you very much. Well, we were singing as if it was a dirge, but that is not.
Thank you.
That's because you chose David Squad to lead the song.
I felt the same way. And Angela decided to turn the thing into a worship song.
I beg, Angela did a good job. Please leave her alone.
No.
Yes.
Listen. That song has to come with some vim.
I agree with you.
It always has to come with some vim. Okay. You are singing like you don't even understand the words.
It's not their fault. What actually happened was that there is a delay from the time somebody opens their mouth to speak to the time it will actually register on the system. So you will hear it a few seconds or a few moments after the person has actually sung what they are singing. That means that you cannot synchronize. So you cannot
it's
really
not about synchronization.
It's
about the tempo.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yes.
It's not that
but because you see, We started that somebody is coming after
have
them,
to wait.
then they
You try
slow
to slow
down
down.
for them to catch up. That's what ends up making it drag.
I'm
If you like,
very
try
much
it again.
aligned. I'm
Unless you decide you are going to sing
very
out
much
of-
aligned.
Let's song on. Let's song on. Let's move on.
All right, carry on.
Guys,
That was only an observation. Let's go on.
The point is, I subscribe to what Fifi said. We tried this during the Founders Day last year. It didn't work, so we have to record. Usually record the songs and play it because you can't sing as a group. It doesn't work.
Okay, so let's move on.
Okay,
All right, I have a solution.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chair, may we propose, I'd like to propose that we make William Norman, who feels so passionately about the whole thing, to sing in his baritone voice and put Aluta in there and record, and then we play.
We already done that. We are done. Next month I'll sing. For the next meeting I'll sing. I'll do a solo.
Okay. All right. Some people may not have data enough to do this. Let me also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Elliot Amwako, who is a banker and almost becoming a deputy governor at the Bank of Ghana, and then Jacob Ankra, whom I call the Sheikh. If your name has not been mentioned along the line, I will. Currently, we are 18 on the platform. So let's go back to the meeting agenda, and immediately what comes to mind is matters arising from our previous meeting. I recall that you asked that we get our own separate accounts. Yes, we tried to, but we realized that if we purchased a Zoom account, it was going to be very dormant almost every month, so there is a meeting. So our colleague, Mike Tamaklu, decided to give us his personal Zoom account, which we are currently using, to use for our meetings at a time when we feel maybe our meeting, regular meetings would, or the frequency of our meetings would increase so that we can then get our own separate account. So that is it for now. I hope this is working with everybody. That Maputo will use his, at least we are using it for recording purposes. Last time we used Geoffrey's account, and his is an institutional one, so we couldn't record anything. But at least here we have the records of our meeting. So Maputo, thank you very much. Once I've assumed the hosting rights, I've kicked him out, but we are recording so that we can give him a playback. So that is the first thing on the matters arising. Again, I appealed for funds for our Aoba dues, and it was marvelous. Within a matter of 5 days, instead of raising 2,500, we got over 3,000 voluntary contributions. And for these, we really give you honor. Myself and the other executives were really, really happy that you've shown good faith and you want us to continue the legacy that was started by our predecessors. And Elliot was once a president. So Elliot, thank you very much. Bernard Benzo, thank you very much. John T, thank you very much. The treasurer is not in, so I'll just speak briefly about the finances, which I know I have the summary. But for the finances in the past month, we had to attend 2 funerals. One was the mother of Theophilus Addy here in Accra, and Bleoobii 8789 generously contributed. Again, our sister Veronica the Kula Denu also buried her mom about 2 weeks ago, and we contributed as well. Sadly, we are in an era where death has become inevitable. Just about 2 weeks ago, our colleague Alfred Anti Addy also lost their mother, and they are still planning the funeral. But as usual, as we have been contributing voluntarily, let us also show faith and also help our brother, because we are all that we have. And that is the spirit of Ubuntu. I am because you are. Yes, with the finances, we raised 3,045 Ghana cedis to pay the AUBA dues or subscription for 2021. And I gladly paid 2,500. So we have a balance of 500 and...
Do you have a key?
I can't let you in.
My brother just fell. I was giving him, like, and he can't get up.
Can I meet somebody?
It's the shade.
Can you mute yourself, please? Okay, thank you. Like I said, we raised 3,045 and paid 2,500, leaving a balance of 5,545. We also launched our dues. It used to be 240 Ghana cedis per member per year, but with the revision by the previous executives, it was pegged at 50 Ghana cedis a year. And as soon as we launched it, we realized that members were happy and were contributing. So far, we have had about 56 people who have paid, and we have 2,800 Ghana cedis as dues. We are expecting the other 130 members on the platform to also contribute so that at least we will get some financial backbone. Again, we also have some monies in the Momo account. So currently in that account, we have 700 Ghana cedis. So if you add the 545 Ghana cedis to the 2,800 and then the 700 that we have, that means we have about 4,000 Ghana cedis there as our cash, that's our operational cash. Again, in the welfare scheme, there is a clause that we would retain 5% of all contributions. This became operational in the month of July, and so the amount that we raised for Veronica, which was 11,173 to support her mother's funeral, a 5% figure was retained. So we had 560 retained into the coffers. Then in our bank accounts, which is now dormant, we have 123 Ghana cedis. So if I should give a summary, we raised 3,045 for Aruba. We have 2,800 for dues. We have 700 Ghana cedis in the Momo. We have 560 as retention from Vero's mom's funeral. And we raised 10,904 for Theophilus for his mother's funeral. We raised 11,173, but disbursed 4,452 for Veronica. Our cash at hand is 123, giving us a total of 4,678. But during the launch of the 90th anniversary, every year group was asked to pledge. So we pledged 1,000 Ghana cedis, which is yet to be paid. Hopefully it will be paid by the beginning of next month, from next week. With regards to the project, we initiated the piggery project in the school. Unfortunately, when I visited the school during the anniversary launch, it rained the whole day, so I was unable to go to the project site. But I believe the piglets have grown. Alfred, maybe you can speak to it because you are there almost every day as the PTA vice chair. And at the first meeting, I proposed that we should make our presence felt beyond the physical project. And I propose that we should institute the Speech Day Awards for the next 5 years, and the value is 1,000 Ghana cedis in something, so that we just get a category that needs to be funded. We did not conclude on that because it was a very lengthy meeting. So I'm just putting it across again that we should think about getting an award during the speech and prize giving day, so that Accra Bleoobii 8789 will give something to the tune of 1,000 Ghana cedis. I will skip the welfare issues because my honorable vice is not around. He's in a meeting now, another important meeting. But then, as you all know, we have some of our members who are invalid, and these are permanent invalidity. So we need to support them. And he is piloting the welfare scheme, and his is to give a one-off investment to our brother who is currently invalid, so that his wife can start something, so that it becomes sustainable. But I know our brother Davis Kwa, out of some goodwill, is trying to raise something to sustain him every month. And so Square, thank you very much for the initiative. We will continue to support a very good cause, such as this one, because we need to support the living, and not when the person is dead that we now raise 10,000 to give to the family. Once we have life, we have everything. This month, we have 8 birthdays that is registered in our database, and I will announce that on the platform, but the first one is on the 10th of August. Is there anything that you want us? I want to pause here before I go to Accra issues, but these are our welfare issues, and it has satisfied the fairness of matters arising. So if there's anything that you want us to discuss, I'll pause and then we discuss before we go to Accra and then the ALBA updates. Thank you very much, colleagues. Should I continue? Okay, we have on call also Nana Dishe, who is Nana Petia, Chief of Daman in the Eastern region. He is in the US. And then we have Christian, we have Adolf Kofi, who is also in the US. Adolf, welcome. Others are using iPhones, so I can't easily make them out. Okay, now let's go to the Accra updates. First and foremost, the schools board has just been reconstituted.
Ransford, I think Elliot has his hand up.
Oh, okay. Okay, Elliot, thank you very much. So can we hear?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone. So just a quick reaction to one of the points you made on the matters arising with regards to the support for our invalid colleagues. I noted that we're planning something that will be one of, wondering why we cannot coordinate the 2 efforts into one, so that we have something very permanent to all throw our weight behind to support such a good cause.
Okay. Your line is breaking, but if I got you well, you said it should be centrally coordinated, if I'm right.
Yes, I was actually saying that for such a good cause, why would we have different initiatives? So why don't we coordinate so that we turn it into one, and then we all support that and then deliver that very, very well?
Yes, we actually would do that in the course of the year. Welfare issues really need careful consideration, and the vice president is actually the one who will be championing this one. But David, in his reason, feel we have known this brother for quite a while. We know individuals do contribute, but he wants us to, whilst waiting for the one-off investment from the wife, he wants us to support him somehow. So tomorrow, David is sending me to Nsawam to go and present some foodstuff and some cash as a first aid whilst we wait for the vice president to come on board with his scheme. And because it may not only be one person whom we will be supporting, it may be 2 or 3 other people. So we have to be very careful on how to proceed, but definitely we will get there. So just be rest assured that it is work in progress. Mr.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess just to clarify, so that the issue is, I'm hearing a one-off initiative, and I'm hearing another one which would be sustained monthly. So then I'm wondering whether we'll not open up the discussion and so that we can decide which is more effective, whether we want to do a one-off or we want to do, so that then we have it as one instead of 2 separate initiatives. I agree that this is a personal initiative that somebody took, which is very laudable and very good. So that should also continue. But going forward, let's have this discussion so that we can have something very sustainable, it has to be very, very well thought through. So we'll wait for the advice.
Thank you. Elliot, we will revert to the advisory committee when we get there. But we want to applaud David Squire for the current initiative. I think he felt we were slacking a bit, but David, we were not. We were not, but we'll get there. So the advisory committee, just be prepared. We will revert to you on this very important issue. Thank you.
I think Daniel Ama also has his hand up. Danny, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah,
I can't see.
I think I need to contribute to that. Can you hear me? Yeah. From what our brother just said moments ago, if I'm right, I think I heard our president saying we are what we have, and we shouldn't wait for somebody to pass away before we go and present something to the family. So I'll support my brother what he said moments ago, that look, it's got to be coordinated worldwide with something substantial that we can give to the wife to keep supporting the husband.
Oh, come on, come in, check the Sabiana, remember 1 year. How much about that?
Alois, please mute.
Okay, I've muted him actually. Okay, colleagues, like I said, there is the executive committee, and the executive committee also has an advisory committee. So since we are recording this meeting, we don't want to prolong it unnecessarily. We would work with the advisory committee and come out with some modalities, and we would inform everybody. Here, if I don't know if we still have Mr. Mayor on. Mr. Mayor, if you want to leave, that is fine, but otherwise you are free to stay and then listen to your children as we deliberate on issues. We'll soon finish and then move on to the scientific session of the meeting as well. So
don't worry, I'm happy to stay on.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. So I haven't seen up again. So colleagues, let me move to the next item on the agenda, which is an update on Aruba and Akraka issues. I was saying earlier that the board has been reconstituted. That was just about a day or two ago. But there is some contention over there because the AOBA as the year group did not, the representatives of the Old Boys Association were not those who were selected by the recognized AOBA group. So we may have to resort to some, I don't know how to call it, but we are going to appeal so that the representatives will be AOBA, real AOBA nominated members. So when you see anything in the media, don't be quick to critique. Just allow the Old Boys Association to work behind the scenes so that we get the AOBA representatives on the board, those that are really elected by AOBA and not those appointed by the school or the Ministry of Education. So that is it for the school board. It will soon come out. I shared the report of the burning of the Hall of Residence with you, and the young man was Prince Nati.
Mr. Chair,
yes,
I have a comment. Would you like to take it now? It's in connection with the constitution of the board.
Okay.
Or if you would like to take your questions after, if you can guide me.
Okay.
Bobby, why don't we get questions in the chat? So at least that allows you to flow and make your deliver your message. And then we'll have a series of questions and then you take those one by one. So if someone has a question whilst you're talking, type it in the chat. When he's finished delivering his message, we can go through the questions. How about that?
I think that's fine.
Okay. So, Reverend Carmen up here, you just type your questions in the chat, unless you are using a phone and it's not going to help out. Otherwise,
no, I'm fine. I'll put it in the chat.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, so I was saying that you already have the reports of the Hall of Residence that got burnt, and we have critiqued it already. And let's see what comes out. But what I need to say is that the AOBA is not charging year groups to pay to rebuild the hall. I think that is the decision, the current decision now. So we are not contributing now, because when the school got burned the second time, I think some funds were raised into the endowment fund, and then they have about 100,000 Ghana cedis. So they want to use that as well. If the 90th anniversary planning and programming, I think 3 events have already been done. We went for the launch of the anniversary and we pledged 1,000 Ghana cedis. Then there was the anniversary Thanksgiving service the Sunday after the launch. And last 2 weeks, we had the Founders Day event. So these are the 3 events that have been done regarding the 90th anniversary. But there are still some pending programs that are coming. And I know the UK group is desirous to come down for the homecoming. And I've been having, questions from a few of you in the UK as to when we will hold the homecoming event. I'm afraid this year the homecoming will be virtual. So as we've just met online now, this is how we will celebrate the homecoming. I had wanted to set up a committee headed by Francis Doherty, where our entry into this year's homecoming will be very grand. And we had started planning, but unfortunately the announcement came that we hold it virtually, so we will honor that as well. There are a few other programs that will commemorate the 90th anniversary. There's a What Do You Know, medical screening, cleanup, dinner dance, and of course, the Legacy Insurance Project, Thanksgiving service, career talk, and we have the speech day as well. So that is it for the school's update. because we have to rush to make sure the meeting doesn't go beyond 1 hour. A concern came up that the time of the meeting at 4 p.m. Ghana time is not favorable to a lot of you. So I don't know whether we may decide now whether 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. is okay. But per our year group constitution, we hold meeting once every month at the last Saturday of the month, which is, in this case, is today, but the timing. And since the next meeting will be hosted by the UK group, the UK caucus, and then the US caucus, we need to decide now whether the time is okay for us. So I've concluded and I'm awaiting your responses. Thank you.
Hans, don't forget to read Angela's question.
Yes, Angela's question is that we may have to appreciate the legalities in the reconstitution of the board. So, yes, he said we should look at the legalities eventually. Yes, our president, our president and the team are doing that now. In fact, I gave my name and credentials out as supporting the cause to ensure that the proper thing is done. But the approach is first to appeal to the Ministry of Education that the board as constituted does not have the AOBA representatives. Those who are there were not mandated by the group. But beyond that, let's see, in the course of the week, if any new information comes up, I'll share them with you on the platform. And you know, every Tuesday is earmarked only for Accra issues. So on the platform on Tuesdays, you don't do any other thing. That is where serious business takes place. So take advantage of the Tuesdays, and if there is any update, I'll post that on the platform. Thank you. The real Michael Tamaklo joining us. Maputo, welcome.
Mr. President, can I?
David, your hand was up.
May I?
David, yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, regarding the time that you talked about, I was going to suggest that, as you said, Tuesday is our business day on the platform. So we put it to a vote. First of all, you can ask the question, do you prefer 4 or 6? So people can type the answers. So we can, because if just how many of us are here, 24 here, make a decision for the over 170 members in the group, it would not really sit well. So that's my take on it.
David, thank you very much. But also in the Constitution, you need 10 people to form a quorum in a meeting. And we are more than 10. We are currently 23 plus 1. We have just had Michael Wellington.
No, I understand, Mr. President. Sorry, Mr. President, I understand that the lawyers will tell you there's the spirit of the law and there's the letter of the law. There's a spirit of the law and there's the letter of the law. So if we want to carry our people along, let's cater for all interests. Sometimes we have to just do things in a way that would kind of, carry people along. Because if we change the time now and then others say doesn't favor me, what do we go back and change it again? So that's my take.
Thank you very much. So we are suggesting on Tuesday we propose whether we do 6 or we do 4 p.m. GMT, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to add up to that, a follow-up.
Okay.
So I'm aligned to what David has suggested, but in addition to that, we may want to know the behavior or degree of engagement of this particular target audience we are looking at, whether in the UK or in the US, so that when we put this question on the platform and this target audience is not on the platform to engage, then it may not be the right approach. So we may want to consider this so that we get them to take the decisions concerning them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, you know, there are time zones. Currently in New York, I think we are 4 hours ahead, if I'm not mistaken. Nana, Norman, Ghana is 4 hours ahead, right? Or 5 in New York. And then in Texas is the different time zones. So we 4 o'clock here, I can say with all certainty that there are people who are still out there, maybe at a funeral or some other social event, who have not even had time to log on. But the issue is, will 6 o'clock be better than 4 o'clock? Because 6, you are tired, you've gone home, and maybe you are sitting behind a bottle of wine or something. Well, I don't know. So let's see. On the platform, what we analyzed and saw is that only 9 people actively engage on the platform. Only 9. And that is not good enough. But hopefully, when we put this out on Tuesday, let's target about 50, so that at least we can see that a third of our members subscribe to that time. Okay. If there is, I haven't seen any hand up. Jacob, your hand was up earlier.
No, that was just a reaction to a comment.
Okay, thank you very much. And there is nothing in the chat now. So if there is no other business, I'm going to give the hosting.
Mr. Chair, there's other business.
Okay, let's hear the other business.
So the other business starts with the name of our group. And I would like to talk about minority rights and representations.
Right.
And whether by design or by providence or whatever the issues were. And I'm glad Joe Meyer is with us. There was some wisdom at some point in our history to bring in ladies to join the gentlemen on campus. And I'm wondering how you are carrying along these ladies. We would like to be more represented, more strategically, purposefully, and deliberately given attention, and everything to do with minority rights or inclusiveness. Just some food for thoughts. Nobody needs to answer or say anything. Let's just carry it along.
Thank you. There are 2 hands up. Maybe these hands are a reaction to what you've just said. We are also happy to have with us Mr. Theophilus Annan, who is the organizer. So to welcome, we have seen Johnny's hand up and I've seen Pastor Solomon's hand. So Johnny, you first, and then Solomon takes the next question. So Johnny.
Secretary, Mr. President.
Johnny, please.
Yeah, my taking is not on anything, just to greet friends that I've not seen in a while. I'm not sure I can put my hands around everyone. This year I can see you, Maputo, Norman, all the guys, you know, just nice and refreshing to see you guys. That's all I want to say.
Oh, JJ,
oh, Charlie, nice
to see you too.
No, you know, at the end of
later on through the lap. Where it is today.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President, and I salute you, colleagues. In view of what our lady has just said, I was thinking along the same line. And my proposal is that just as we have at the university SRC, we should give the women 2 slots in our executive, group. One as a women's commissioner and another as a women's organizer. I was thinking about it and then she brought it on board. So that's my proposal to the group. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Pastor Tamaklo. Well, here there is an account saying that meaning that we can't take prompt decisions here now. But this is something that we'll carry on board, and the executives will think through it and give our response at the appropriate time. But thank you, Angela. That is something that we'll work on naturally. Unless maybe Mr. George Mayer has something to say about it, then we give him the floor. Any advice, maybe from the Old Boys Association? I once saw something, they said, Accra Old Students Association. Well, I don't know.
Nana's hand is up.
Nana, it's Pastor Solomon whose hand is up.
He's already.
He's already spoken.
I see. Sorry, I'll release it.
Okay. So, David, you have no permission to talk. It is
what did you want me to comment on?
Well, there is a proposal that we should engage the women more. And
Ransford.
Yes.
Ransford.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
The proposal is to give women more engagement. And I was asking whether in the bigger AOBA platform you have such engagement for the women.
Well, not that I know of. I can only speak for the UK branch, but not the wider AOBA branch.
Right.
Because here on the UK, we do have some of the former sixth form girls serving on my executive.
Wow.
And they've been very, very active, particularly in linking us up with St. Mary's. So we have a good sort of partnership with St. Mary's, and we do joint collaborative events because we have our sixth form girls who came from St. Mary's serving on our executive and on theirs as well. So that linkage is always there.
Okay.
It makes things easier when we have to do organize joint events.
Okay. Okay, thank you Thank you very much. So colleagues, in the interest of time, let us quickly move to part 2 of our meeting. And this is a presentation by a colleague of ours who is the head of finance and strategy and government operations. He's also a professor of finance, financial instruments, economics, and international business policies, and is an advisor in banking and telecommunication, currently domiciled in Germany in the name of our own brother, Geoffrey Kanti, now Geoffrey Kofi Wright. So, Geoff, I'm going to give you are you doing a presentation?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the hosting right so that you can upload your presentation. Thank you.